striker, one of the best guy who was hardest punches. But I'm one of the best grappler, best wrestler.
Yeah.
He's not that.
Sure.
So
it'd be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, of course.
It's Aspinall, man.
Bom, não sei se pô, Casa Branca, John Jones.
John
seria uma
Jones.
super luta.
At the White House.
John Jones. That's a super fight.
And I'm not saying Khamzat would beat Alex Pereira, but after what he just did to Dricus du Plessis, Khamzat would probably beat Alex Pereira simply because of the matchup.
Оливейра после нокаута. Я думаю, что если Gamrot постоянно тренируется, постоянно на форме, мне кажется, скорее всего, Gamrot выиграет.
The MMA world is buzzing once again, and this time it's Khamzat Chimaev taking aim straight at Alex Pereira. In a move that shocked fans, Chimaev has declared he's ready to face Pereira at heavyweight, proving he's willing to go wherever it takes to make this fight happen. While Pereira has shown little interest in facing him and is instead looking toward heavyweight opportunities, Chimaev hasn't backed off. In fact, he's made it clear that he'll even step into the heavyweight division just to make this matchup a reality.
You know, it's crazy that you mentioned Alex then, because somebody was talking to me and said, who do you think that is out there that could beat Alex? And I said, you know what? Call me crazy. I said, but Khamzat at 205.
Yeah.
I think you have the style. Is that something you think about? Like maybe one day?
Of course, I've been always open for that. So I know stylistically this match for me much easier than other guys, you know. So but in striking, I'm honest. I know the guy can knock me out, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Everyone. I know the guy is good striker, one of the best guy who was hardest punches. But I'm one of the best grappler, best wrestler.
Yeah.
He's not that.
Sure.
So
it'd be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, of course.
Chimaev, who remains undefeated and one of the most feared rising stars in the UFC, believes that a showdown with Pereira would be one of the biggest super fights in MMA history. Despite Pereira's hesitation, Chimaev insists that this is the fight fans want, and one that would make the most noise. Confident as ever, Boris is determined to prove his dominance by facing a man who has already conquered 2 divisions.
Khamzat Chimaev has called you out and said that congratulations, but now you guys need to finish your business. Are you aware of what business that is, and are you interested in him moving up to fight you at this stage?
Thanks for congratulating me, but all I want is a super fight. I want to fight at heavyweight, but all I can say is thank you.
Chimaev's message was indirect and confident. He's ready to fight Pereira at heavyweight because in his mind, there is no bigger matchup than the two of them meeting inside the octagon. He believes Pereira wouldn't find a grander fight or a tougher challenge anywhere else, and this isn't the first time Chimaev has called him out, but this time he's showing his full willingness to climb a weight class to make it happen. He wrote bluntly on his X, "I'm ready to fight you in the heavyweight. You won't find a super fight than our fight. No chama, this is smash everybody." Meanwhile, Alex Pereira has been looking in a different direction altogether. The Brazilian star, now a 2-division UFC champion, has been vocal about his desire to move up to heavyweight. Following his latest win, Pereira confirmed his heavyweight ambitions and made it known that he isn't necessarily looking to fight Chimaev right now. Instead, he's targeting something even bigger, a potential super fight against John Jones.
Alex had a different idea, and Alex's idea is John Jones. Now, all last week, if you follow Bad Guy Inc., I told you guys that I think the storyline and the headline come Monday morning is going to be Alex Pereira at heavyweight. As a matter of fact, I told you guys, I do not believe that John Jones returns against Tom Aspinall. I believe he returns against Alex Pereira. Many people have one pushback, which is Chael. That is a phenomenal fight. We didn't see it coming. Love to see it, but how?
After his most recent victory, Pereira spoke to the media about his goals, and through translation, it was clear he's chasing history. He's already conquered middleweight and light heavyweight, and now he wants to make history as the first ever 3-division UFC champion. Moving to heavyweight would be a massive step, but Pereira's confidence and knockout power make the idea more than believable.
Essa é a melhor aposta?
Não, queria super luta.
No, I want a super fight.
Oh, super fight at heavyweight.
I can think of one
Wow,
name.
Derek Lewis? It's Aspinall, man.
Bom, não sei se pô, Casa Branca, John Jones.
John
seria uma
Jones.
super luta.
At the White House.
John Jones. That's a super fight.
All right, so he's...
What stood out most, however, was Pereira's emotional moment when he mentioned Jon Jones. Recently, Jones' older brother, former NFL player Arthur Jones, tragically passed away at the age of 39, and out of respect, Pereira said it wasn't the right time to push for the fight, even though it's something he's been dreaming about. He said he wanted to fight Jon Jones at the White House, calling it the ultimate super fight. Though he didn't want to speak too much about it given the circumstances, he made it clear that fighting Jones remains a major goal for him.
I know you said you're interested in a super fight. Can you elaborate on that? Is it the winner of Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane? Or it sounded like maybe before everything happened with Jon Jones in his personal life, you were maybe planning a call out of him.
I'll answer his question, and I'll answer this subject one time. And you know, I with all due respect, with all the respect I have for this situation, and I've said this in the back, you know, a lot of people try to create a lot of stuff around this. So again, please, with all the respect, I was gonna ask for Jon Jones in the White House, but with everything that happened, it's not the right time to talk about it.
Pereira's ambitions at heavyweight have caught everyone's attention. If he successfully moves up and wins, he could become the first fighter in UFC history to hold titles in 3 different divisions. That's an achievement that would place him in an entirely new League of Legends. But for now, Pereira seems focused on choosing the right time and opponent, and right now, that opponent doesn't appear to be Chimaev.
Okay, right, regardless, he smokes Magomed Ankalaev, so the question is, what's next? Now, of course, he wants to go to heavyweight. Dana White said that he saw him at the Performance Institute on Friday. He told Dana face-to-face he wants to go to heavyweight, and you would assume that by going to heavyweight, he would mean wanting the winner of Ciryl Gane versus Tom Aspinall, which goes down in just a couple of weeks. But that's not what he wants. He wants to take on Jon Jones at the White House, the greatest of all time, depending on who you ask, of course. We're not getting into that whole debate, but that's what Pereira wants. Now, I will say this, the man should be afforded some wild opportunities. What he did, the way he came back, the way he thrills audiences, the knockouts that he's had.
Still, fans are divided. Many believe a clash between Chimaev and Pereira would be one of the most exciting fights the UFC could possibly make. Yet, others feel Pereira's current focus on Jon Jones makes more sense career-wise, as a victory over the former heavyweight champion would cement his legacy forever.
34 pounds last week for that fight, so he could probably beef up to 240, 245, which isn't a bad size heavyweight, let's be honest. There's other people calling him out as well. Khamzat Chimaev, the middleweight champion, he's calling out Alex Pereira. In fact, he tweeted about it and said, come on, let's finish what we started, or something like that. I don't think Pereira wants that matchup. Yes, Khamzat is one of the biggest stars in the organization. And I'm not saying Khamzat would beat Alex Pereira, but after what he just did to Dricus du Plessis, Khamzat would probably beat Alex Pereira simply because of the matchup.
While the back and forth between Chimaev and Pereira continues, notably, Demetrius Johnson and MMA Guru both shared their opinions, saying they'd like to see Pereira test himself against Tom Aspinall instead. With Pereira's growing interest in heavyweight, they think a fight against Aspinall, known for his speed, precision, and knockout ability, would be an incredible matchup. It would give Pereira a proper test in the heavyweight division and could be a stepping stone toward a showdown with Jon Jones later.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not excited. You know, I'm more excited for Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane to fight Jon Jones, to fight Alex Pereira. Only reason why is because these guys are fighting. They've been active, right? Like, yeah. I love Jon Jones. You know, I see Jon Jones. He's a legend of the sport. He's a GOAT. He did come out of retirement because he wants that opportunity to fight at the White House. But I view Jon Jones as one of the legends. It's like seeing Vanderlei Silva fight. It's like, I'm tired of seeing fucking guys still fighting. Like, but maybe it's they need to feed that itch. I don't know what it is, but for me, I'd rather see Alex Pereira fight, either go to heavyweight, if him and Jon Jones' path cross.
As for Chimaev, his willingness to take risks has only added to his legend. Moving to heavyweight isn't something many fighters would even consider, but Chimaev seems to thrive on challenges. Fans know that when he says he'll fight anyone, anytime, and at any weight, he truly means it. Whether Pereira accepts or not, the message has been sent loud and clear. Chimaev wants big fights, and he's not afraid to chase them anywhere.
I realized I should wrestle, dude. You know, dude, that little
Bored. I can't stand fucking Chimaev, you son cunt. You know, I think what annoys me about Chimaev, there's nobody that could beat him. You know, like I've trained with all the guys he's gonna fight. Like I've trained with Chimaev, dude. For one round, the guy could grapple. For one round, dude. Once you get over that one round of scramble, he just quits. It just turns into a kickboxing match, like what he did with the 55 or the 70 or what's his name, Gilbert. Yeah. Like once he realizes he can't like maul you and you don't quit, he quits. It turns into a boxing match. And I just don't know if there's anybody at that division other than me that like knows what it's like to grapple those fuckers. I've been training with those fucking cave dwellers my whole life, dude. Like these live in this gym, dude. So it kind of saddens me that.
While all this chaos unfolds around Chimaev and Pereira, another massive fight is brewing. Charles Oliveira and Mateusz Gamrot. Set to headline UFC Fight Night 261 in Rio de Janeiro on October 11th, this matchup is generating a lot of talk within the MMA community. Both fighters have plenty to prove, and their clash could determine the next big name in the lightweight division.
Henry, you tell me, do you think that Gamrot puts Charles Oliveira away?
I don't think he puts him away. I favor him in this fight. Charles Oliveira is comfortable going to his back, and that's not always a good thing.
It's because of the grappling of Charles Oliveira. A lot of people choose to stand with him. So he's going to have to tweak that a little bit, because now you're going up against a guy who does not mind. He has to go here.
Gamrot is just a basic wrestler, but that's all you need in this damn game. You may get cut by the UFC sooner rather than later, but you'll win. With Khamzat pulling what he's pulled with these dudes, you could lose fans, bro. When you're just wrestling and when you're like, dude, this shit is boring. So you decided to kind of bring in that striker to become.
Did you hit me with a strike? Wait, what?
Gamrot's gonna have to wrestle. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong. No, you're not wrong. Absolutely. Gamrot's going to win this fight. He's gonna have to wrestle at some point.
Arman Tsarukyan, one of the top lightweights himself, recently shared his thoughts on this upcoming fight. He believes that hunger will be the deciding factor between Oliveira and Gamrot. According to Tsarukyan, Gamrot has the edge because he looks fresher and more determined right now. Oliveira, on the other hand, is coming off a devastating knockout loss to Ilia Topuria, a fight that many feel might have taken a toll on him both physically and mentally.
Как ты оценишь расклады в этом бою, учитывая то, что он выходит на замену?
Ну, Гамрот посвежее, Оливейра после нокаута. Я думаю, что если Gamrot постоянно тренируется, постоянно на форме, мне кажется, скорее всего, Gamrot выиграет.
Tsarukyan said Gamrot has been staying in shape and consistently training, which gives him the upper hand going into the fight. He believes Gamrot needs this win more than Oliveira does, especially since the Polish fighter hasn't yet defeated a top-ranked opponent. His last major test came against Benil Dariush, a fight he lost. Now, Tsarukyan feels Gamrot's motivation will push him harder than ever before.
Я всегда говорю тому, кому нужнее, наверное, те и выигрывают.
Да, ему нужно больше, он голодный, он никогда не дрался с такими топовыми, он там один раз дрался с Дариушем, который был 4-5 номер, и то проиграл ему, и он постоянно дрался там с 9-ми, 10-ми, 5-ми, ой, с 15-ми. Последний бой у него вообще был с парнем, который не в рейтинге.
Former middleweight champion Robert Whittaker offered a different perspective. Breaking down the matchup, Whittaker pointed out that Oliveira is still incredibly dangerous, especially off his back. He believes Oliveira's ground game and submission skills remain some of the best in UFC history, and even if he's coming off a tough knockout loss, Whittaker said Oliveira's creativity and striking could still give Gamrot a lot of trouble.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to lean towards Oliveira. I think his his kickboxing can give Gamrot problems, but not to mention Charles works extremely well off his back. He's so dangerous with that. So I think that nullifies Gamrot's mixing of the levels, which means it's going to be, if we're looking at it in pure kickboxing, in a pure kickboxing sense, Oliveira I think has the cleaner strikes. But it is relatively soon after the Topuria loss. And
it is.
Charles, he's been getting hit hard for the longest time. Okay.
Whittaker mentioned that Oliveira's kickboxing could disrupt Gamrot's rhythm, and his ability to attack from the ground might neutralize Gamrot's wrestling advantage. Though he admitted the quick turnaround after such a brutal defeat could be risky, Whittaker still leans slightly toward Oliveira making a successful comeback.
Not to say and that last one was hard.
Yeah, that was bad. That was really bad.
I'm curious. Yeah, I'm going to lean towards Oliveira. I think he's got the skills, definitely has a skill set, but I am worried about
the recency of his last loss.
Yeah, the recency, I will say though, like Mateusz Gamrot's not necessarily known for his KO power, right? I just checked it. He's had 8 finishes out of the 25 wins that he's had, but like still, he's not known for his crazy knockout power. He could catch Oliveira, given that his chin is now even more suspect. And it's so soon after the Topuria loss. Like, that's what I keep coming back to. We saw it happen very similarly with Volk, right?
Oliveira is fighting to reclaim his spot among the elite, while Gamrot is fighting to prove that he belongs there.
It's your comeback. You just got knocked out against Topuria. You want to eradicate that loss from the minds of the fans. It's in Rio de Janeiro. You know, it's your home country. You're Charles Oliveira. You're a former champion. You're getting towards the end of your career. Rafael Fiziev, let's do it. Let's go. He gets injured. Then all of a sudden you've got no fight. I understand being pissed off at that. But the fact now that Mateusz Gamrot is like, hey, bro, I'll come down to your backyard and fight you. Let's do it. I'm not saying that Charles needs to kind of step up. What does that say?
Where's my opponent? Challenge accepted. Holding a rubber chicken.
Oh, I mean, it's actually a good matchup for both men, right?
Yeah,
for Charles,
that's what's crazy about it.
As the UFC landscape continues to shift, stories like these keep fans hooked. From Chimaev's bold challenge to Pereira's quest for history and Oliveira's fight for redemption, MMA never runs short of drama. Pereira's focus on Jon Jones shows his thinking legacy, while Chimaev's relentless hunger proves he's thinking dominance.
What do you make of Alex Pereira talking about becoming a 3 divisions, trying to take that belt from you? Would you entertain that?
Well, listen to this, right? We're in New York. We obviously fought on the same card, me and him. Never met him before, never. Quite frosty when I met him. And I don't know him personally. I didn't know if he was just like that. We did the press conference. We sat next to each other. He was literally, I was here, he was there. Got off the press conference. And my dad said, oh, like, how was it? I said, do you know that Alex Pereira? He said, yeah. Said, he thinks he can beat me, you know. And my dad was like, what do you mean? I don't know, I can just tell. Mate, he wasn't posturing, he wasn't like trying to intimidate me or nothing. I just felt like he had in his mind, maybe I'm just making it up, I have no idea, but...
The octagon is heating up and the rivalries are getting intense. Do you think Pereira will accept Chimaev's heavyweight challenge, or is Jon Jones next in line for Poden? And what about Oliveira versus Gamrot? Who takes the win in Rio? Drop your predictions below and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more ring rivalry updates and all the latest MMA drama.